G'day golfers! Today we're showcasing our top 5 tips for beginner golfers. Now we say beginner golfers, but realistically these tips are going to help any social or occasional golfer, anyone that can't get to the range or the golf course too often. Now 5 sounds like a lot, but when you find out how simple that these tips are, we're sure that you'll agree that these are the 5 things that you really need to focus on if you want to improve your golf. Now as before, we've got a downloadable PDF, a free training guide for you that's at the end of this video or in the description box. I'm Glenn Haynes, welcome to Aussie Golf Pros, where we help you make the most of your game. Top 5 tips for beginner golfers. Number 1, grip the club lightly in your fingers. If you're hanging on tightly or you have the club in the palms of your hands, then you're buggered. You can't swing with your potential speed or your control. Get the club lightly in the fingers. So the club here in the base of the fingers, that's both hands. I've taken my glove off so you can see here. So base of the fingers there, that means you get your wrist on top, and base of the fingers with both hands. You can have a 10 finger or overlap or interlock. I'm not caring about that. It's just get it in the fingers and let's get it lightly so that we can generate some speed and control through the shot. Simple as that. Tip number 2, make a nice big circle with your grip. Not with the club head, but with your grip. We want to make a big circle with the grip of the club, and that's giving you width, and that again is going to help you generate more speed and have more control, more consistency through the shot. We don't want to be having the club close to you here. Get the grip section of the club away from you here, and then away from you here. That's width. That big circle, the bigger you can get it, the faster the club head is going to go and the further you're going to hit the golf ball. Tip number 3, you have to brush the grass. You've got to get the right height with the club. If you're too low, then your divot's too deep and the ball's not going to go very far. If you're too high, you're going to hit the top of the ball and the ball's going to roll along the ground. A lot of beginners do that because it's very easy to get the wrong height. You're changing posture a lot, you're changing your arms a lot. Just practice, just without the ball, just practice getting the right height on the grass. You swing too high, it's like this. Swing too low, you're going to take that deep divot. We've got to get it the right height. It's super, super critical. Just a small divot or brushing the grass like that. This is probably the most important thing you can focus on to help you to strike the ball sweetly, to enjoy actually hitting the golf ball. Because if you're too high or too low, it's going to feel horrible. You're going to get rubbish feedback through the club and the ball's not going to go where you want it to. And I just want you to practice without the ball, getting better at this. Practice brushing the grass. You'll actually find it fairly easy to do after a little bit of practice when the ball's not there. It'll be more challenging when you put the ball there, and that's typically because a lot of golfers just tighten up and tense up. But keep working on getting the right height, and it's going to go a long way towards helping you to strike the ball more cleanly and more accurately. Now focusing on ball striking once again, tip number 4 is swing through the gate. So I've got a couple of nice long white tees here. I'm going to pop them in the ground. Not too wide, it has to be fairly narrow. That's too wide, that's too generous. We're not going to learn anything, so a little closer. You're going to have about a pinky either side of the club. So let's just get this club up here. So if you've got a pinky here and the tee here and then a pinky on this side and the tee at an angle for the shape of the golf club, and you've got to get good at swinging through that gate. Because if you don't, let's put the ball down there. If you hit this tee here, then you're going to hit it off the end of the golf club. And if you hit the tee on the other side, you're going to hit it out the hosel of the golf club. And let me tell you, they're horrible. The ball's not going to go where you want it to. It's not going to go very far. It's going to feel awful again. So getting the right height's important, but we've also got to swing through the gate. We want to find that sweet spot consistently. This is a skill that any golfer can improve. Any golfer. And as I say, it's a skill, not necessarily too much technical going on here. We just got to get better at swinging between there. So if we sit up here and then just swing right through that. And again, practice it without the ball first. Get good at it. You should be able to do that 10 times in a row. And don't have them too wide. It's too easy. You're not going to learn anything. All of these practice drills have to be challenging. And then we put the ball there. Let's flatten that down a little. Let's make it even tougher. Let's see if we get a bit closer. And if I do hit the tee, that gives me some wonderful feedback on knowing where the club is, because that's really difficult. It's traveling too fast to see it. We can feel it through the club, but if you're a new golfer, you won't know where on the club face that you're hitting it, so the tees give you that wonderful feedback. Let's see if I can swing between them here. There we go. Felt great. Small divots, I've got the right height. I've missed the tees, so I'm swinging through the gate. Now, tip number 5 involves direction. Now, we're not going to get too technical here. We just want to understand that the club face is the king. The club face and the direction the club face is pointing when we hit the golf ball is going to very much, largely determine where the ball goes. So if the club face is square, you've got a very good chance of hitting it towards the target. If the club face is open, the ball's going to go out there. It doesn't matter how good your swing is. If the face is open, the ball's going to go out there. So for a right-hander, it's going to go to the right. If the face is closed, then the ball's going to go left. That sounds really simple, but the fact is that a lot of golfers don't even think about what the club face is doing, and that's not good enough. So let's hit a shot. Let's take the tees away. Good practice. Hit lots of those with the tees. Lots without the ball and lots with. So let's hit a shot where the face is open. See, it's curving off to the right-hand side there. Now let's hit a shot with the face closed. It's curving off to the left. And if we can control that and get that club face at setup and at impact, just having it set up square is not enough. You've got to try to get it square at impact. And the golf ball is telling you whether you've done it right or not. If it's going off to the right, assuming you're striking it okay, then the face has to be open. If it's curving to the right, curving to the left, it has to be closed. Let's see if we can get it nice and square here. And straight she goes. I told you they were simple. And let's face it, a lot of golfers don't have the time or the knowledge to be working on technical things in their golf swing. It's all well and good getting a technical lesson, but if you don't have time to change things and really invest in your golf game, then focusing on these simple but important aspects of your game can really go a long way towards you hitting the golf ball a lot better out in the golf course. Now, I talked about aiming the club face and getting it square. It's a little different from irons to woods, so watch this video next. That's really going to explain the difference on how to aim and the difference between the irons and the woods. Super important. As I said, downloadable PDF, free training guide, that's over here, or it's in the description. And we look forward to your company next week. Thanks so much for watching. Are you the best golfer you can be?